Call the meeting to order. Introduction of those present. Jay Coleman.
Rick Kaminsky, Keith Cavallini.
Aaron Evans.
Margot Moreau.
Rick Martin. Bruce Foley. Craig O'Briskin.
Thank you. Are there any changes to the agenda or additions? Yes, of course. Yep, you got it. And we also have a change order. So we'll add that. You got something, Rick?
Petition, that's all.
Okay.
We should talk about that.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that. That's on there. Okay, awesome. All right. We've got the minutes from town meeting on March 4th. And I will make a motion to approve those.
I'll second.
You signed that one.
Yeah, Keith.
You said? Okay. And then we need to approve the minutes from Monday, March 18th with all our appointments on those, and I will make a motion to approve those.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Next on the list, we need to appoint 3 remaining planning and zoning officials. One has been Mike Coleman, the other has been myself, and I'll refrain from appointing myself unless anybody else would like that job.
I'm on here too.
And as I say, Keith is.
I'll do it myself.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
We appoint Keith and Jay and Mike.
We should probably do them separately because Keith and I each have to recuse ourselves from, I think.
Okay,
so
I'll make a motion. We appoint
Unless there's
Jay.
any takers out here. See any hand? Okay.
We're already on it. Well, he's already on it. He's on it too. There's 2.
Yeah.
So we're in this section. Anybody, any takers? No.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Jay to the board.
You got a second it.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion's carried.
I'll make another motion, we appoint Keith to the board.
I'll second that.
And we have to appoint Mike.
We do have to appoint Mike.
I'll make a motion, we appoint Mike as chair.
I'll second it.
Motion's carried. Awesome.
Is that the end of the appointments? I think it is.
That is it.
Good.
So the board's to discuss property located at 123 Crimson Hawk Road. That is the parcel, when you go up that road, it's about 100 yards up on the left. It's a building lot. It's behind on taxes lane, is that right? Right around $8,000?
Is that the Berman property by any chance?
Correct.
It is not, well, yes, it is behind on taxes.
8,094.
It doesn't seem, the owner of that property has called a couple times wanting to buy that at less than what is owed in taxes. And I think we initially discussed that at our last meeting and decided that probably wasn't adequate. I think, based on what properties are selling for. Is there anything we want to, this might be a person in the waiting room.
Didn't they come back with, their initial offer was 3, and then they came back at 7, right?
Yeah, and let me just see. Somebody just entered the waiting room. Can you unmute him, Patrick? Or turn up the volume on the television? And I think I have to.
Yep.
Just checking in to see. Who's in the waiting room? There he is, Brendan. Awesome. Did you want to tell us a little bit about your interest in that parcel on Crimson Hawk?
Unmute yourself and then ask them.
Okay. Would you tell us a little bit about your interest in that parcel and what you'd like to offer for it up on Crimson Hawk, Brendan?
Yeah, I am interested in this parcel. I previously tried to join the Hawk community in the fall. I was under contract for a piece of land on East Ash Road, but ended up pulling out of the deal because the lot was just too sloping and there's too much ledge on the property. It would have been not that cost efficient to kind of put a house there. So, but since that fell through, I've kept in touch with people in the community, and it was brought to my attention that this piece of land had some substantial debts against it. So I am just trying to do what I can to satisfy both parties, because there's not just back taxes owed on the land, there's a decent amount of money owed to the Salt Ash Owners Association. So I'm just trying to get my roots, into Plymouth. Definitely excited about what's going on at Hawk itself with the new developers that Hawk purchased within the last couple of years, and trying to revive the tavern and all the grounds over there. And I've been going to Vermont since I was a child. I learned to ski at Okemos Bunny Hill. I was just at Killington last weekend during that 2 feet of snow, which was awesome. So my interest is definitely just trying to join a nice community, and I think my most recent offer that I submitted to Jay was for $7,000 towards the, I think around $8,000 that's owed to it, which I think is fair, considering I think it's been almost a decade, if not a decade, of no payments that the town's received. So just trying to work out something that's satisfactory to, I guess, both myself and the town, so they get paid.
Well, I'm sure you're shopping for real estate, but I've lately probably not seen a building lot for less than $30,000.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on parcels that have been going in that area, but I mean, I'm not sure how much I can speak towards that. This is a unique situation where, like the town doesn't own this yet, so even if I do reach an agreement with the town and Hawk, I still have to go towards the trustee of the land, because they need to present it to their client and make sure that it's satisfactory to them too. So there's a bunch of hoops I have to jump through for this. So those costs will add up. I have my own lawyer in town as well, so that will be helping me. But I mean, all I can do is just make an offer that I think is fair for at least the taxes to town, because I'm sure they would love to receive some form of payment, which they haven't received in a number of years. But yeah, I can't really speak towards what's been going recently, because this is a unique situation where it's not really for sale anyway.
So, Rick or Keith, you want to add anything to that?
Well, I have a couple questions. Elaine, being a delinquent tax collector, do you have any idea what it costs to put a property up for sale during a delinquent tax sale?
There will be approximately $1,000 added to the cost of the property.
Okay,
And that will be added and included in the tax sale as the sale, the cost we hope to recoup.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
It's based on a number of things, but the approximate amount is $1,000 per parcel.
Fair enough. So, besides the $8,000 owed in taxes, to have the town come out flush, we would really need about $9,000, right?
If it were going to tax sale,
Right,
it would be
Right.
listed,
right, okay.
yeah, in excess of that amount.
And then I have a question for,
Brennan?
yes, the potential buyer. If the board was to accept that offer, how much time do you need before we close on it?
So I've been put in touch with the Saltcats Owners Association president, named Ralph Glassberg, and he and I think there's another individual that I've been communicating with, but they said basically it's the lawyer of the trustee also told me the same thing, that the town is the first step, so you have to get the town on board, and then everything else can follow afterwards. So in terms of Hawk and Salt Ash, they said once something's agreed upon with the town, they said they'll be able to move quickly. We've had a little bit of back and forth, so like this is, I would say, the most substantial conversation I've had about the property tonight with you guys. But they said that they would love to move quickly too, because their number is twice what the town is owed in terms of what they're owed. So I think all parties would love to get money in some form and capacity for this lot. But to answer your question, I think they would be definitely eager to close sooner than later.
Well, with all due respect, that still is not an answer. Are you talking about 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? What, give me your best guess.
I would say maybe within 30 to 45, because if something is agreed upon, I still have to go back to the law firm that the James Berman Trustee, they're handling this, and they have to still present their this cumulative offer to make sure that it's in their best interest. But I mean, I know they're looking to get rid of it quickly as well. So I think, I would also like to obviously advance it as quick as possible for everybody involved. So I think to answer your question, it's maybe 30 to 45 days.
Okay. Elaine, do you know if we have,
So I wanted to just add something here.
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I think our only interest are the taxes legally.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
That's it. So
Absolutely.
if we get those
Right,
without incurring other costs,
yeah,
we're happy.
yeah, yeah.
We're also,
Elaine, do you know if we have another tax sale scheduled?
No, we don't.
Okay.
We have to plan ahead for that.
Yeah, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
How big's this lot again?
1.6 acres.
1.6? What's
And-
it appraised at?
Yeah, that's the question I wanted
I
to
think
answer.
that we have it assessed. But
Assessed.
but if we acquire the lot, we sell it, we get to keep the taxes, Elaine has to forward proceeds to the owner, the trust, right? So it's not like the town gets the extra money
If we
in
get
taxes.
more than the taxes are due,
Yeah.
yes, we have to return it to the previous owner, which is the trust.
Which is the Berman Trust, so.
Yeah.
8,000, still a good number.
Yeah, gets us out of our taxes. Yeah, Bruce?
Seems to me the town should definitely get the tax money that's owed to them. No wheeling and dealing on that. You're owed that money. If somebody wants to come forward and pay it, great. Otherwise, we'll get it eventually.
I think we're in
Agreed.
agreement. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we are in agreement on that one, Bruce. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's a good point, though.
I mean, all things considered, whatever, yeah, the money goes back to the original owner, but the town, given the demand for property in the town would fare better, and by putting it up for a tax sale, it'd probably get bid way higher. We'd get our tax money, and the people that, the trust would get some money too, but if we're gonna sell it outright, we sell it for $8,094.34.
Okay.
So we're willing to make that deal.
Yes.
You know, so if he's able to enter a purchase and sale agreement with Hawk, we would accept the taxes, like, that's all there is to it, and it's almost not even much of a decision on our end, so we pays the taxes.
That keeps it real clean, and it's black and white, nobody can argue with it. I like that idea.
That amount increases on a monthly basis.
Ah,
Yeah, for the, every month, it's not.
Yeah.
Well, then he's gotta hurry up and make a deal. Sounds interesting.
do you need a motion?
I think that's just, you know, I think that Brennan can pay the taxes owed to the town, I mean, we don't really have much to do with it.
Okay, fair enough.
If you need something from us, Brennan, let us know, but I mean, we are open to just getting paid our taxes. And I think our delinquent tax collector
Yeah.
could affirm that, because you're in charge of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where we stand.
So then so then I guess I'll have to go tomorrow morning. I'll give the, Salt Ash Owners Association president a call and let them know. And then is it Jay speaking?
Yep, right here, right here.
Okay, and then I guess I can just reach out to you, or would you want me to copy anybody else to take on?
Yeah.
If I get any, anything set in stone with them, that I can try to put hopefully a rough timeline together when my dominoes can start falling for everybody.
So this is under Elaine's purview as the delinquent tax collector, so she would be your primary contact.
Yeah.
And welcome to Plymouth.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to try to get this done as fast as I can. And then, yeah, I guess I'll just work with Elaine on that.
Is she clear that we're asking for that amount? Yeah.
Awesome, thanks, Brennan.
So will it be just the amount that
No.
at the, theoretical closing, or are we just agreeing to what the amount is that's owed right now?
I'm going to update taxes on the 5th, which is a couple of days away. There will be a 1.5% late fee added to principal.
Okay.
I'm happy to send him that delinquent tax notice when I send it to the trust, so he'll have that hard figure.
Okay.
But it changes on a monthly basis.
The amount owed will be updated on the 5th of this month. It'll be 1.5% additional.
And Elaine will get you that in writing tomorrow. Or the next couple days.
Okay, that sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think that's a good outcome for the town. That's good.
Nice echo.
I was just thinking Patrick for his remote control skills.
Thumb on the trigger. Ready.
All right, so we have a petition to discuss. And when we received the petition, the town clerk, just to make sure, sent it to the attorney for review. It was just a small, seems like it's a small technical error with language. And according to our attorney, the select board can request that either the petition be redone, or it also has the authority to go ahead and proceed with this without that extra work. And I think, Rick, you started this petition,
Yes,
and you had how many signatures?
50 or 60?
Twice the number needed for? Yeah. So I think there's interest in this amongst town folk to revote the issue of the taxes. The question is, does this board want to do that, or does this board want to have Rick continue with the petition, the second petition?
Good, I mean, as I read this language from the attorney, it says that we can correct a defect within the ballot and make it right, assuming intent, which would mean that we assume we knew what was intended by the ballot, although the language is not in court and doesn't conform with the statute, and make it whole, in other words.
Okay.
Can you?
That's how I understood it, but.
The petition says?
Yes.
No, I mean, no, what's the topic of it?
Oh, the Bethany Birch's tax.
It's a revote on Bethany Birch's decision, to make it a wider town vote as opposed to
Thanks, Rick.
a town meeting vote.
Paper ballot.
If you want to do that, you just get a petition and see what happens.
But the
Town-
petition has
town-
arrived, and it's not, according to Vermont statute, you can't indicate within a petition that you want to have a paper ballot vote.
Right.
So that language is
Right.
defunct. But the select board can, upon our decision here, we can say that we understood what the petition was, the intent of the petition, and we can allow it to stand. And it's just a matter of how we want the vote to proceed, right?
Yep.
And so that's the question, how will it proceed? Will it be something that's mailed out? Will it be a special meeting when people come in to vote?
It will have to be a special meeting.
I think it has to be a special.
That's just like we did with the Airbnb.
You
So
know,
we would warn a special meeting, whoever shows up that night votes, and that's it.
now, we vote on the floor, or do we have to?
We can pass paper, somebody can call for
You
it,
call for a paper ballot?
Right,
but it has to be here.
but it doesn't require an
Mail it.
walk-in ballot, Nick?
I don't think so.
No, you do a special meeting, it's whoever shows up like Keith does. It's like whoever shows up at town meeting, it's the
Okay.
same thing. The
Okay.
things that you vote on at town meeting night, it's who's ever here.
Okay.
Great.
You want it,
So I have a question on this voting. So at town meeting, we voted on this. I'm not gonna get into
Right.
whether I voted for or against it. I'm going by, where do we stand as a town as far as town meeting and who is eligible to vote? To my understanding, it's only residents. So should only residents be allowed? That's one of my questions, in the room. In other words, you have to say, somebody has to say, yes, that's a resident, they're a voter. Okay. So I think that's something that we have to, going forward, because we had this last year with the Airbnb thing. It had to go to a paper ballot, so I think I mentioned this last year, where is this division where the select board can decide on things, and then, okay, now it goes to a paper ballot, or what's done at town meeting goes to a paper ballot, or do we accept mail-in ballots? Is everything gonna go mail-in ballot? And I brought this up last year with the Airbnb thing, that, where can we draw a distinction so that when we have a vote, okay, that everybody in town is welcome to come here for town meeting and have a vote, and we have the vote. And now, for whatever reason, regardless if somebody doesn't like the outcome, a revote. So what distinguishes that? Do we have to have a petition sent around every time there's?
Yep.
I mean, I just don't see where there's a finality to it.
it's law, it's the we don't make these rules.
Okay, but
So if
then we should decide what can be a town meeting. We should decide what
you
goes on.
can get a petition and bring it, and then we vote on it.
It has to be within 30 days. Like,
Right.
If we want to revote a town meeting issue, you have to have a
Right, so
petition
this-
signed
I don't
within
know what
30
this
days of town meeting to
was.
revote it. And it was really close.
Right, I understand it was close, but what I'm saying is, the voting aspect of it.
I mean, how you vote?
Well, no, it's like everybody votes on something, like,
Right.
we vote for the mayor. And
Right.
if somebody says, I don't like the way it turned out, I'm gonna have a petition,
Right.
we're gonna revote the mayor, but we already voted for the mayor. If somebody says, well, I wasn't there.
But that's your.
That's the right,
That's
all-
the right, that's just what the
But
laws,
we have a
I
petition.
know, I don't, it's, you gotta get a petition up.
Right,
Like
so we're
like we
just-
did with the Airbnb, then now that can't come up for another couple of years ago.
Yeah.
There's rules. As far as anyone coming into a meeting, anyone can come to the meeting. But they can, if they're not a resident, they cannot vote and they cannot speak unless they're given, unless we allow them to speak. That's why we always vote on thing. And then, and as far as hand vote, paper ballot, me personally, I am for paper ballot. Because I think people,
Well, this is
there's a lot of
what-
people who
Well-
do not vote.
There's a distinction between a mailing out absentee
Right.
ballots versus we do little paper ballots on the floor.
Right.
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 And
Are
then we
you
would have,
concerned that it's not going to be checked to make sure that it's residents who are voting? Is that a concern?
No, that's not really a concern. My concern is when everybody gets together, everybody who is concerned, right, like right now, everybody that's in this room is concerned about what's going on today at this meeting. So any concerned citizens show up.
right,
Concerned citizens show up for town meeting. So when those same people Their vote, it's not that it's not legal. I understand, we can contest things in this country, okay, and say, no, I don't think that's the way it should have been.
Right.
But I also think that there needs to be more finality. Maybe, I don't know what it does. I just think that to revisit something that's already been voted on, okay? The people, if we had let's say we had a mail-in ballot on this particular issue, okay? If we understand there's 400 voters, registered
Right,
voters,
400 plus,
there's
yeah.
200 that actually voted this last cycle.
We had almost 50% voter turnout at our last.
212 out of 400, right? 50%.
Well, believe me, I was shocked. It was 49 point something percent voters turned out at our last.
Right, but, okay. But we didn't have those 400 voters here.
Nope, and people that come on Zoom, same thing, they cannot participate either.
So we are bound by law to follow this
Right.
procedure.
So we now have to have a meeting, however that's going to be, would be more like we just did with the.
I think to speak to your point, I get the idea that, yes, this issue was it was in the town report, everyone could read it, and if you were interested in that decision on the Bethany Burgess thing, you should have showed up.
Right.
And you should have voted on it, but that's not what happened. Unfortunately, it's not just that issue, there's remedies around, like when we had the marijuana vote, it was a ballot, it was on a vote, on voting day, it was a ballot question, so more people would experience that.
Same thing, and you have to get a petition up to get it on the ballot.
And I say, I don't agree with second guessing either decisions. I would think, I personally think that this particular decision about the Bethany Burgess should have been a wider vote so that more people would have had an input. Now we're left with the aftermath of what happened initially, and it's kind of, I see your point, yeah, I kind of feel the same way, but.
My point being then, is there any kind of system in place where something like Bethany Burgess, instead of it being a town meeting, it's put to a paper ballot vote?
You can get a petition up and have it put on
the ballot.
Next year, when we vote on it again, which would be on next year's town meeting day.
I think it's
no, it's 5, no, this is 3 to 5 years, if we won't do
Yeah,
that.
and I think, Craig, what you're bringing up is a good point. I think what Craig's trying to say is, how do we go from having things voted on a Monday, where you come.
Petition.
Petition, it's all petition.
But people have to know about that.
That's why I'm saying you just have Monday says
Petition is
informational,
after the end.
and everything's paper ballot on Tuesdays. So everybody has
We can't do it
the
that.
bandwidth to
It
come.
would have to be done before.
I think anything that affects the taxes or
Should be
property
wider
of the
down.
town should be by paper ballot.
I agree too.
Times have changed. We used to have standing room only at our town meetings. I mean, Mark and I go way back. You couldn't even fit
And the
people here.
deadline for that to happen has to be made known ahead of
Yep.
time. You can't come at the last minute with a petition and just get it under the wire.
Right, it's gotta be.
And then have the
Because you
town
get
vote
ballots,
that way.
all the ballots have to be printed and stuff. So we're gonna hold people to reminding us as we get closer.
Yes, so I think a lot of other towns, when I have a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing that.
Coming into the store
Yep.
and voicing their,
Yeah,
it's kind of fun being down, I'll tell you, hearing people's opinions on things. And, but overwhelming majority say we should never, ever vote anything on a Monday night, because not enough people can get there. A lot of elderly people can't get there, a lot of people, who have things after work, and a lot of other towns, well, there's a lot of people who don't like driving at night.
The only thing about, well, I won't go into that right now.
So, the point a lot of other towns do is they have an informational meeting the night before,
Right.
and then everything's done by paper ballot.
But then you lose your choice to amend things, to change things, and that's another whole ball.
But that's part of the democratic process, so you gotta figure out how do you mitigate that, so it's fair to
Well,
everybody.
you can't amend something that's on the ballot.
So, but you
to vote on.
had 40,
As far as I know,
46 people at Monday night? Right?
it's gotten less and less, but there's
Something
people
like
on
We
that.
Zoom.
didn't have a count, we didn't have a roll count, we didn't meet anybody at the door to sign in. We
Right.
didn't ask them if they were voters.
But
Right.
what was the total? It was
under
27 to
50.
21?
Something.
It was under 50.
Yeah.
It's
So-
gone down, so like I said, times have changed, things have changed, so everybody's trying to figure out what to do, but you've got to look at, I've amended the budget many times over the years, and let me tell you, it's not easy to do. I've had to do school budgets, I've done other budgets, I had no idea that we were gonna do, both two people were gonna do the
Yeah.
select board, we just did something out of the blue. So
getting-
that's another issue you gotta think about. But if you've got up petitions and people sign them and you get it on the ballot, it gets voted on. Just like you're trying, like you're.
Right, so are we saying that at town meeting, we would continue to have hand votes as in, it's been done for?
That's what you get petitions for. Is that, do you want to move everything to be voted on Tuesday, or do you want to have an informational meeting and vote on everything on Tuesday, or I think you're gonna get less and less people, I don't know, like I said, it's just, you gotta get petitions.
Yeah, there's some leeway in there, because
Yeah,
we're allowed as a
yeah.
select board to put stuff to the wide or to large, the ballot,
Right.
the voting ballot, if it's
But-
like we did with the marijuana thing.
Yeah,
Right.
But in terms of the citizenry affecting the
Yeah.
vote, the petition is the tool for doing that.
right.
And like, if there was something, let's put hot air balloons outside, okay? You could bring a petition
Right.
to the board saying, we want that vote, get enough signatures, we would like this vote to be on the ballot, the voting ballot on voting day. And if you achieve that threshold, then it will be, and it will be it won't be at town, it'll be announced and by the moderator and discussed. Is there any discussion on the hot air balloon amendment? Everybody looks at it, okay. And then the next day, everybody vote on it. So,
But can you still, if you have a paper ballot, okay, vote on Tuesday?
You mean a mailed out paper ballot?
Yeah, the mail out.
No,
I see where you're going.
What I'm saying is, you can.
Can somebody come in then and contest that and overturn the hot air balloon?
Send out a petition, because it's been voted on either way.
Some towns do that. They actually have the articles and they're voted on by paper ballot, because they're not voted on.
But can they be
Because
petitioned?
they have them all day. You
You-
can't hand a petition in that day. It's gotta
You
be.
can, within 30 days, you can.
You can
Yeah, I
petition
think you
a
can,
vote
yes,
of something.
yes.
You can
Anybody
challenge
can
it.
Petition anything,
Yeah.
yeah.
You still-
Why are we doing it again the same way that we did
I know, but I'm just trying to.
We're still not gonna get 200 people out here on a night.
Right, right.
No, the Airbnb didn't get many, barely passed.
Yep.
So.
I mean, the
that's
only
like 2-3
real
people.
alternative is to let it stand and make an effort when does it expire? 3 years? 2?
5 years.
5 years? Well, in 5 years, you would have the effort behind it to bring it make sure it gets on the ballot.
Yeah, well, in
He's
the,
got the petitions.
yeah, but in the immediate, right, we're,
We
can't
can't
do it this year.
We could put
Yep.
a special meeting, it would have to be just a special meeting.
Right, this is what it's gonna have to be for this
A
particular.
standalone
petition.
meeting of just that.
Let's see if everybody's name is on there.
And we'd warn it and announce it and, you'd have to, whoever came, would vote on it. If it was 100 people, 100 people vote on it. If it was 10 would vote on it.
What's today's name?
Could end up being less than we're here for town meeting. Who knows?
Depending on when it is, that's true.
Well, we're coming into summer,
Yeah.
who's,
You'd have to have it sooner than later.
July, nobody's gonna come.
What is the deadline, Jay, for having a vote?
We just have to warn a meeting once the
Right.
petition's in.
Is it, what's the warning, 30, 15 days,
It's
30? I can't
30,
remember.
pretty sure it's 30.
I think it's 32, I can't remember.
So May, we could have it in
Is
May.
there a reason why we wouldn't mail out ballots?
We
Is there an
can't.
objection to that?
I don't think we can because it was
Yeah, I
a
don't think you can.
town, it was an actual town meeting vote. I don't think you can convert it to a ballot.
I got you, okay.
The absentee ballots are basically for town meetings
If not
and,
absentee, it would be a ballot.
And we never used to really
Right.
do that much, but then COVID allowed us to kind of make that, like we're pushed to
Yeah,
do
that-
that, make that
that's- yeah.
transition.
Well, that's where my question comes from, is,
Yeah.
because as you mentioned, times have changed, things have
Yeah.
changed in voting. I didn't know if it would just be a simpler way to resolve it.
So I think we're in a position where we're gonna accept a petition and schedule a special meeting.
I think enough people signed that to demonstrate.
I think that's the intent,
Yeah,
so
I
we
can't
need to
remember.
support what the intent is, yeah.
well, Angela can check that.
Yeah,
Check the signatures against the list and then how many the voter, I think the voter list was 4 and 6, I can't remember. Top of my head.
so anyway, we're agreeing to the technical error is not a problem. I think we should rely on our clerk, unless you want to speak to that, Elaine, for the meeting warning, the date and the warning. But I think
The
it'll be.
wording should be the wording of the petition, unless the wording of the petition needs to be amended.
I mean, the timeline to make sure it's advertised
Oh,
correctly and
okay.
warned, advertised, all those
Yeah.
things, so.
It says we can't change the
It has to be the same.
language
Yeah.
has to be the same, with the exception of that technicality there about the paper ballot, but we can't change the wording of the original. vote, the
Well,
original.
Let's wait and see what what the dates are that things
Okay.
have to happen, the timeline.
Now, what is that? I think it's 30 days.
And then we probably have to warn it for 30 days.
No,
No?
I don't, well,
Any-
no, there might be
that's
15, I don't.
It might be
I
15.
don't have the book with me
Yeah, okay.
to read everything, but, yeah. You just get the timelines and.
Somebody needs to make a
Sooner than better.
motion, and then we can rely on our clerk to do.
I'll make a motion that we proceed with it.
I'll second.
Plymouth Press.
Yes, I think there was a lot of miscommunication around the whole thing. And I am concerned that Angela will be the one to post it when I had asked Stephanie if she would post it. And I'm wondering if we can possibly work out where Angela would post the things that pertain to the town. I know she has a blast, an email blast that she sends out.
Okay.
That could all go on the Plymouth Press. When I talked to her about that a while back, when she first started the blast, she didn't seem eager to do that. She seemed to want to keep it separate, but it's a publication that should be open to anybody. It always has been. I was not aware that it was put in under the community center director.
So this is not, and it's not a town publication, right? This is a
No, it's
private
not.
publication.
No, it's a
No,
private.
it's-
The only thing that they did, Jen asked to pay the $50 fee for the URL.
Okay.
And that has pretty much been what I assumed was only being paid. So this other thing was quite a shock. And I don't tend to know the figures, but after the flood, I put a lot of stuff out there for the town, for people, resources and things like that. So it might have really added up.
Some of the billing, the billings for it seemed excessive, in terms of what it actually entails and how much she was billing for it. As I said in my email to you, that was where push came to shove. It had nothing to do with the Plymouth Press per se. It was just that trying to make sense of, all the bills pertaining to that position and what we were gonna do with it. That was just one of the things that was like, okay, well, how, it couldn't justify it really anymore. It had been justified for a while, but once, we started kind of looking into it further and figuring out what we wanted to do with that space, which was ultimately give it to Lauren anyway. We needed to, square the proverbial circle and make everything look good on paper and in terms of a lease and whatnot, but.
Well, I thank you for answering me. And I know you did that on a personal level, but I'm just curious, why didn't anybody think about talking to me about it?
Well, that's a good question. I think it all kind of, in the end, it came together rather fast in terms of, we had kicked the can around for a while, but it took a while to get to the point where we were decided what we were going to do in terms of, are we going to, because it was a big question mark, I think, that hung over that space for quite some time in terms of,
Is it only for your submissions?
Well, people submit to me or to Lauren, and we make sure that there's nothing of an opinion in there. It's just the factual information, the resource information that goes out that the community can use. Or, we'd love to have more about the kids that are school kids.
When we had the school, it was different.
There's more of that. Stephanie seemed to have some ideas about putting some other things in, factual things that she thought might be helpful to the town. Patrick knows, this has been around a long time. The Plymouth Press has been around a long time.
Yes.
It was volunteers, so it wasn't paid. It was.
You probably remember when we printed it.
Yeah, I used to pick it up. Sure.
Yeah.
How long have you not been How long has it been out of print?
Quite a
I
while.
can't remember when Jen, because I wasn't the editor anymore when it went on online.
It definitely is a resource that we need to preserve in its current form and continue to link to it and continue to, have the town contribute to it in terms of updating it and updating content, uploading content. I think it's within the realm of possibility for a volunteer to do. Somebody that was interested in maintaining it and seeing it prosper. I don't think that they would necessarily be looking for money for that, because it's, the time commitment is, I mean, for all rights and purposes, I can sit down and teach you in an hour how to do it yourself. Not saying you want to do it.
No.
But, I mean, it's just, it's, you go in and log in and upload and,
I don't mind volunteering for all the rest, but that piece, no. Not my forte.
I think it's doable within the realm, it's definitely within the realm of possibility that there's someone, whether it's Stephanie or somebody, that would be more than willing to do that in terms of, the amount of content that needs to be posted and the time allotment. It wouldn't,
And if,
And then you
Angela
get
would
it.
like to do, I don't know what she puts in the blast. Do you know what's in the blast?
I get it. I
I
didn't
don't
know
think
it
I get
existed.
that either.
No.
I don't get that.
I don't. But I mean, there are things that maybe the town wants to put out directly.
You know, on the
You know,
website anyway.
do you think she'd be okay with just doing that part and not?
You could ask her. Yeah, directly, yeah. I would say that's a good.
Oh, ask Angela directly. I mean, that's probably the most expedient
Is
way. I don't see why she wouldn't. I don't know. I think it's more of an issue of the, the money quotient of it, in terms
Yeah,
of.
you didn't realize it was volunteer before, I guess.
Well, if we look at it as a volunteer thing, I think Angela was looking at it as, okay, well, if we were paying so much to do this, now I have to incorporate it into my daily task. Do I need to account for that, in terms of, do I need to be, is it gonna take away from my work? Should I bill for it? Da, 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 da. I don't see it as that type of role. I see it as a small extra role that anyone can facilitate, really, if you're web savvy and, hey, I just sent over an article I wanted up. Oh, sure, no problem, put it, done.
So-
It's not, I don't need $100 to do
Sure, she's got money
that.
on her plate without.
Yes, but, so all right, town website. Side numbers. So, Angela could, so we have a spot on the town website for updates on things that are going around and things that we need to know, correct? So that doesn't necessarily have to be done on the town level by the town clerk, under Plymouth Press, is what I'm saying. We don't need a,
I mean, the methodology is exactly the same as we're using WordPress as well, so it's the same, it's a
yeah,
backdoor.
that's another one.
She
Well, yeah.
can log in and, I mean, she's updating content to our website, she can log in
So you can log into it, so it
to
doesn't
the
really
Plymouth
matter.
Press and upload it, boom,
Yeah.
done. I mean, that's how it would function. I think it comes down to who is gonna do that and what their
I guess
expectations are.
Who's gonna be running the Plymouth Press, basically?
Right, I mean, if it's somebody, like, I think Stephanie seems pretty inspired to, instill a community and be involved. I mean, I don't think if you asked her to do it,
It's not my forte
she'd say
either,
no. If she knows how to do it, which she probably
Well,
does.
I guess Lauren was in a strange position and was told not to teach Stephanie how to do it, I think. I don't know, that's kind of the impression I got, so.
Yeah, I can't speak to that. I'm just saying in terms of, how it can, as a community resource, it's not something, it's not a lot to ask someone to help you out to do that. As a, it's a total volunteer thing, like as a help, just a helping hand type of thing. It's not, I don't,
Put it out on the Plymouth Press. Looking for volunteers.
Margot, I'm at a loss, because I don't understand what the issue is, so help me out here. Is your concern that Lauren is not the director of the CC anymore and Angela is? Is that your concern?
No,
Well,
no.
what is your?
My only concern was that Lauren was told to stop putting anything in the Plymouth Press.
Well, no, she was told to stop being director of the CC.
Right, exactly, and apparently, that I did not know, that she had lumped, well, Terry originally had probably had lumped it in to functions under the community center. Because initially, when Terry was doing it, it was volunteer.
Yeah,
And I assumed it was still volunteer. I didn't know she was getting paid for every post.
okay, so now Angela's doing what Lauren was doing in the past, right? So,
Doesn't sound that way.
huh?
Doesn't sound that way.
Right.
It doesn't? Okay.
Well, I think that the
Okay.
community, from the people I've talked to, would prefer, and Jen, I think Jen meant, I mean, you have received the correspondence. I mean, I sent an email and Jen sent an email. Have you had a chance to look at that?
Yeah,
So we want it to be a community-involved project like it always has been.
well, why is it not now?
Well, if we cannot get someone to post it, if somebody cannot learn how to post it, then it's difficult. Right now, Jen Flaster has posted the last couple. So I just wanted to clarify that we still want to be able, as a Plymouth Press, as a volunteer function, to be able to continue to post. But if Angela wants to post some things for the town, that seems fine. I don't know why it should be an adversarial kind of situation.
Yeah, I don't see where it is, but I guess I'm not seeing the whole picture. Okay. I just don't understand what the issues are, but that's my problem, I guess. Okay.
Was Jen Flaster, is she comfortable and willing to continue posting the content?
She doesn't want to do it long term.
She doesn't want to do it?
You know, she works full-time and has a couple of kids. But, you know, she jumped in because she wanted to make sure that there weren't huge changes.
Who's the webmaster of the website?
Which one?
The one we're talking about?
Plymouth Press, I don't think there is effectively a webmaster. I think it's a WordPress site and you have credentials, you can log in and it's created, it maintains itself really, you know.
But Jen is the one who set it up. So.
You can change whatever you want to do, change on it through the admin panel, you know, backgrounds and content, you know, but, right? I mean, there's nobody that's effectively shepherding the thing. It's just, it exists as it exists.
Right.
So we need to pay somebody to do it, that means we would need to put it on the appropriations next year.
Well, that was, yeah, that's never
I
reminded
think
me.
you have an appropriation.
There is an appropriation, says Jen Flaster, correct? Is
Yeah.
there?
$50.
Yeah, but-
Esther asked me
$50?
to take it off the appropriations one year because she wasn't doing it. And she said, we'll send you a bill if we have any expenses. So
So it's not in the
it's not
appropriations?
appropriation.
What I'm saying is if you want to pay somebody to do the postings, right, the website work, you should come up with a dollar amount and put that on the appropriations page so that,
I don't know that it needs to be a paid position.
okay,
I really don't.
okay.
Maybe in the Plymouth Press, if you put in the Plymouth Press, you know, requesting somebody to do that work on a volunteer
Yeah,
basis.
well, as I said, Stephanie had initially said she would, but then was told that Lauren couldn't teach her how to do it, so.
But there's a larger audience maybe that would be interested.
Yeah.
Actual
that's-
subscribers.
Well, somebody still has to teach how to do it, but I mean,
Yeah, I mean.
Jen Flaster could teach somebody too, I suppose.
Yeah, if she's comfortable going in the admin panel and she's already posting, then she could teach, I mean, it's not, she could definitely teach somebody to do it.
Well,
Is that putting your hand up, Craig?
Excuse me?
Is that putting your hand up?
Well, how much content are you posting, like on a weekly basis?
well, during the flood era, a lot. Any resource that came to my attention went in there.
What about on a non-flood, you know, just a normal
No,
April, how
Not much.
many times a week would you post?
2 or 3,
2 or
usually
3.
do my article. If I get information at the time I'm gonna do my article, I stick it in there. But you know, I get a few things. And, you know, I will say that I have opinion articles, I have said, no, we can't do that. It just doesn't seem like the proper form.
Right, you want to keep it pure editorial, no views.
Yeah, right, it's also community.
All right. Wait.
Yeah, I think a call goes out to volunteers. I mean, I could talk to whoever you need me to talk to. If you want me to talk to Stephanie, I could talk to Jen. I could, you know, bring them together. I can help facilitate. If Stephanie really wants to learn how to do it, I can show her how to do it. I mean, I can, you know, I can help you out, however you need me to help you out, to get somebody to do it.
Yeah, Jen has to, I think, put the person on so that they can do
Yeah.
it.
You just need the
Okay,
credentials.
Keith, if you wouldn't mind, that would be great.
I will do it.
Okay.
Two things. One, we have to sign this change order. It's a $7,604 credit for the building renovation
Right.
for the fire alarm.
Mhm.
So it's a decrease.
Credit, hey.
No problem there.
No, no,
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, and then we got a note to us about the schoolhouse. I believe it is. It says the Green Mountain backflow annual testing in the boiler room at the community center passed. However, he noted the boiler has not been serviced since 9 of 2022. We need to schedule the annual service with CV Oil.
I can make that call,
Okay.
okay, tomorrow.
Okay.
I made a note of it.
Somebody also said that light bulbs are need to be replaced.
Yeah, I'll take care of that.
All right. And then we need to schedule a public hearing for the revision of the zoning ordinance. Will need to be warned in a newspaper at least 15 days prior to the hearing and can be scheduled an hour before a regular warned meeting of the select board, perhaps May 6th, or the next meeting to follow. So we can either do select board meeting. I doubt there'll be great interest in it. We didn't make many big changes to that zoning ordinance, but there's a few. We'll have to have copies available, or we can piggyback it with this other.
Special
item.
meeting.
Yeah. Like we could combine the warning. That'd probably make the most sense, make it efficient.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I was just thinking the same thing, might be the same timeline for petition.
So it's just one meeting, not two.
Mm-hmm.
One set of newspaper warnings and all
Yeah.
that, yeah. Okay. Okay. And we'll make sure Mike will be here too to explain anything he wants to, Bruce or Rick.
Mm-hmm. It was a long process.
I think that's it. We've got mail and warrants. Our mail's done warrants, we sign warrants.
Great.
Executive too, right?
Oh yeah, we do have an executive session. Very short one, I think. But we're gonna turn the camera off for that.